Hello everyone, I'm North Scorpio, and I am 30. It doesn't really matter to me. It makes no difference. But, being that this is my birthday, I've been doing this for the last several years now. It's time for us to think back over the last year and think of our plans for the next year. This is my retrospective and introspection, recollection, and recollection. Let's start off with how this last year went. I feel pretty good about this last year. Maybe I still have not been as consistent as I would love to be. But in the last year, we finished Octopath Traveler. We started and finished Far Cry 4. Decided to journey through the Final Fantasy games, and we've beaten the first 3, and next week I'm going to be starting number 4. I'm going to be beating Chernobylite. So in terms of RPG games alone, that's a pretty good spread. Considering the year before was Final Fantasy 5? No, I think that was 2019. Kingdoms of Amalur was 2020. The Witcher was 2020. We started Octopath in 2020. Should have muted my phone. And then if we consider, I will say I was happy with what I did in 2020 with trying different games week to week. Again, it didn't really go the exact way I wanted it to, because I started to look at it as a chore. But 2021, this last year, I beat the first Dead Space. We finally played and beat Amnesia and Amnesia Rebirth. Wait, no, that was 2020. 2021, I took the first couple months off of doing NSFL. But we did come back with Arkham Knight, and we finally beat Arkham Knight. I've still got the DLCs that we're going to do, but we've wrapped on that pretty much. I'm getting my years. This is what happens when you're in quarantine for 2 years, is you lose track of everything. NFL games we did. Arkham Knight. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, was incredible. I'm still not super sold on the ending, but it was good. That's right. We came back and we re-entered the Dragonfly. We played Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, which is the first time I'd ever played it. It was janky, but it was fun nonetheless. And we are going to still come back and play A Hero's Tale at some point, at the very least. I'm still not 100% sure I'm going to play the Legend of Spyro games, but I do have them ready if I want to. And then in the last couple weeks, Inscription, which was very good. This year was also Steins Gate, which was an interesting change for me. I've played visual novels before, and I've recorded one of them for the channel at least, but Steins Gate is definitely a different beast. I will certainly continue that on my own. I haven't yet. I know it was months ago. I have not. We'll get into that. And then on the front for Norse Core, we went through Borderlands, which is I finally have completed Borderlands. We also played Halo 2 this year, and we're currently playing The Raft. We've done a bunch of little one-offs, which was super good, and this was the second year, which makes it an annual Monster of the Week October streams. I really enjoy doing that. I like the idea of having one-off stuff that we can do from time to time. This last year, I also decided to go through and reinvent myself on YouTube again. I'm re-uploading a lot of the older series. We're very close to the end of what I've decided I want to do for now. There are a couple more that will come eventually, but we're getting near the end of it. And I feel like that's helped me rejuvenate and breathe life back into my interest in doing YouTube as well as doing Twitch. And I've had some ideas. I've still not put any real pen to paper on some of the scripted or additional things I would like to do for the YouTube channel. But we're getting things sorted out, so it'll come when it comes. So that's where we're at for the year of 2021 in terms of streaming. I missed a lot of streams still. I'm really happy that I was able to take this week off and actually not push myself to stream. I have learned if I'm taking time off my work, I need to take time off streaming so that they correlate. Because what happened the last time I tried to take a week off was the week I came back to work, I didn't feel like I'd gotten an actual time to rest, and I ended up skipping the streams that week. And so I never really felt that I actually got a week off. So I'm learning. In this last year, I have also started to balance my ability to keep track of time. So I've always been very bad at time management. I've been working more at keeping a schedule. Keeping a schedule that's a little bit loose, but still gives me direction, both at work and through my free time. Time to prep meals, to read and get back into writing. I haven't really written much this month. However, over the month of October, I got myself into a more consistent nightly writing schedule. And I feel like that's a pretty good way to do it. All in all, this last year, although there's still things that I wish were different, I don't regret what happened, because that's not worth doing. And so I look to the future. My hopes for this next year is we're obviously going to beat Final Fantasy IV. We're going to be doing a restream of Final Fantasy V, and then I will be re-uploading Final Fantasy V in its more digestible chunks. Hopefully, we'll be able to stay consistent. I'm still not going to beat myself up when I miss a stream due to personal or physical or anything. If I don't have the energy to stream or the willpower to stream, I've learned not to beat myself up over it. The only thing that I need to avoid doing is burning out, like happened with The Witcher. Like what happened with Kingdoms of Amalur a little bit. What happened with a couple of the early RPGs I tried to stream. My lack of consistency led to me not having the interest and motivation to keep up with these games. Final Fantasy III and Final Fantasy VIII, my first stream attempts at those failed because I just was not keeping myself consistent with streaming. I feel pretty good about my streaming schedule. I think I have finally struck my balance that I can more often than not keep up with. I've been getting back into exercise, and so this next year I am looking at the possibility of incorporating more streaming that would just be Twitch streams, that would be considered Twitch biking streams. Now, I've got a stationary bike that I would set up here. It would be after work. I would do an hour on the bike while playing whatever I feel like. I'm not going to ever upload it. It's just going to be here. The same way that Brian David Gilbert does his biking streams. I hope that people can join me and keep themselves active the same way that I want to. With NSFL, I'm going to continue using that as my way of keeping myself from burning out. If I feel like I'm feeling overwhelmed, if I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed and starting to burn out, NSFL is the stream that goes on hiatus to prevent me from having to go entirely on hiatus. Giving myself that extra afternoon on a day off really actually helps. Now, at the moment, I've been feeling fine. I haven't felt overwhelmed and needing to. And maybe part of that is, in this last year, I started taking medication to help with my anxiety. I still think I need to talk to somebody and work out a lot of these other issues in my head. But small steps. Also, I can officially say that, hi, my name's Luca. I've been going by it in most online platforms for the last several months. My YouTube channel, my Twitch page, my Twitter page has all been updated to reflect that already. But I've come out and I'm now working towards getting the official name change on documentation. I'm excited. I may not sound it. I don't know. I'm in a very good spot, I feel, and I'm hoping to continue that. Some new things that I want to add to that is I have been working on getting myself comfortable monetarily and health-wise. And that's my 30th year goal. That's the strong goal. I want to get back to a comfortable place monetarily, and I want to get back to a good place weight-wise and health-wise. I don't feel like I'm very unhealthy, but I have some bad habits. And certainly part of that is going to be getting some help with my psychological state. Yeah. Some other things that I'd really like to do in this next year would be to get back into some tabletops. It's been so long since I played D&D or any other tabletop. All the ones that I have ever started have petered out before we really finished a campaign. And so I've got multiple characters floating in the abyss of my mind that I want back, damn it. For those who don't see my streams, I've ordered the Avatar, The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra tabletop RPG that's coming out around February. And so what we're going to be doing is doing a couple Norse core adventures in the Avatar universe. And I cannot wait. I've never properly DM'd or GM'd, I guess, besides one attempt, which was one session, and that was all it amounted to. I was nervous, obviously. It's your first time. Most people would be nervous on their first time, right? Right? But I'm so familiar with Avatar. I think it'll go well. Join me and find out. I'm not super used to doing this offline talking to no one anymore. Which might seem weird because I still don't get a lot of viewers on Twitch. But it's still live. this can be edited. And I do want to do more of this. And I will be. But I want to thank you all who've supported me. We've almost been doing this for 10 years. My first official upload was in March of 2022. And while that video no longer exists, I've killed it entirely. It wasn't shortly after that we switched to gaming content with James, who I miss every day. And our Saints Row came up. And I'm going to announce that on the day that our Saints Row the Third video first aired, I'm going to do a full day NSFL stream of Saints Row the Third Remastered and just relive my experiences with that wonderful game that started a 10-year journey that has changed so much for me. I love you all, and I hope you appreciate that. I hope you understand that I don't say those words easily. I appreciate everything you've given me, and I hope that you can enjoy everything that I've given back. And I hope that you'll continue to journey along with me over the next 10 years. And until then, I shall see you all later.